cactus and succulent growers, it's Lynn, and in today's video this is not going to be a happy video, not for me anyway. This is my, or was I should say, my possibly 26-year-old Aztekium hintonii that I got in my early 20s, and as you can imagine, I've been growing it for many years, well over 25, 26 years. And this is completely dead as a dodo, as you can hear when I tap it. And I'll just lift it up so you can see better with the light. And it's completely brown and that hollow sound. I'm absolutely gutted because this Aztekium is one I got a long time ago from a gentleman on mail order, a gentleman called David Quayle, who lives in England, and he's grown this himself from seed. And when I first got it, it was absolutely tiny, probably like the size of one of these pieces of grit at the top here. And it's one that's been grown on its own roots. And when I got it, I actually thought, gosh, I'd be lucky if I can keep it alive, because Aztekium is probably one of the most difficult of cactus plants to grow, and they're nearly always sold grafted because they're incredibly rot prone, and also one of the most slowest growing cactus plants, cactus genus you can get. So you have to have a lot of patience and be willing to have a bit of a hit and miss when growing this cactus. Now, I was very lucky because I potted it up and looked after it, put it in a sunny window. And I successfully have grown this cactus for well over 25 years until now. In fact, I've been so successful with growing this cactus that I actually made a care video on how to care for Aztekium. And I probably made that video about 3 years ago. I think it was back in 2019. I'll link that video up above and it'll be down below in the video description. And everything I say in that video, I still stand by 100% with caring for it. I actually don't know what has happened here, but I do know from many growers it's such a hard plant to keep alive for long term that when I told people I'd had it for 25 years, they said, my gosh, I've not been able to keep one for more than a couple of years or so, and they only have success if it's grafted and all the rest of it. And the reason why I made a care video on it is a few growers contacted me and said, I've got an Aztekium, I don't have any luck with them and I keep trying. And I said, I've had mine for years, I've not really had any problems. And I made a care video sharing my experience on how I grow mine and how to help you grow yours if you're new to growing these extra sort of difficult rare cactus plants. And sadly, I had been successful up until now. I noticed about 2 months ago this cactus was starting to go a little bit yellow, and I did take it out the pot because there was no signs of any pests or anything like that. It has had previous spider mite damage that it outgrew a few years ago, and it loads of new growth at the top, and it just started to go yellow. The roots were absolutely fine, no signs of pests. I potted it back up again. I do keep this in a very well draining soil mix, and I have always had great success. It's very slow growing, so you might think, gosh, after 25 years it's still tiny, but it is one of the most slowest growing. And I just have a complete mystery to why it's gone. It's hollowed all the way through, gone as dead as a dodo. And I wanted to make a little update video on this because it's one of the ones I have in my collection, and I always like to do updates on all my plants. And you know, I have to say it's a goner. For me to replace this, you're talking of a few £100 because it's a very hard to get cactus and it's very expensive, a choice cactus. And it wouldn't replace this one anyway, because what made this so rewarding was because I'd grown it for so many years. So pretty gutted, but I like to share the good and the bad with you in my videos. You know, it's not just all about flowers and happiness. I've had a few things happen to my plants, cold damage and all the other things I've shared over the past few weeks. But I don't think this is anything to do with cold damage. It's been in my window here, in a sunny south-facing window there with all my other cacti that are over winter. And I do that the same as I've done every single year. The only possibility is we had an extremely hot summer last year. These cacti are from Mexico and they can take extremely hot temperatures, but this one was not used to having so much of a hot temperature. It's grown up in my sort of climate, which is normally cool and damp in the UK and Ireland. So I don't think that personally had anything to do with it. Maybe cacti are like people. Cacti can live for many decades, but also so can people. But people die early too, and maybe that's what's happened with this cactus. I still think I've been successful to grow it for 25 years. So I still think I've been good in that way. And do check the video out if you want to grow one of these. If I got another one in the morning, I would treat it in exactly the same way as I always have. And everything I say in that care video will be the same. It's just one of them things, I guess. I'm gutted, absolutely gutted, because it was probably one of my most special cacti I have in my collection. And it just sucks, basically. But there we go, nothing I can do about it. I'm happy I had this beauty for so long and I did grow it well. And goodbye, my old friend. Oh, I'll end up getting sad now. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you all. And I'll link, as I say, that video to how to care for this cactus will be up above and down below. And do give, if you have one of these, have you had success with growing it? I'm just happy I've had it for as long as I have. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully in my next video will be a bit more cheerful. I'm going to be giving the greenhouse a good spring clean, probably coming up to the weekend. I'll share a little video on that. And if you haven't done already, please do subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Desert Plants of Avalon. And for more growing tips, do check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to wish you all a fantastic, healthy, happy, cactus-powered day ahead. Got it.